No one wanted to give me a chance back then.
Alright, so I'm so excited right now. I got a really heavy lift, heavy Zerchers. It's not going to be fun today, but you know what I'm saying? This is what's going to help me the most for wrestling. So very excited to get back after. So excited. Alright, so just finished my lift right now. Oh my god, that was insane today. Well, I got to 335, so I'm happy about that. You know, I gotta speak a little loud right now because there's some guy, I don't know, he's screaming. I don't really know what's going on out there, but yeah, he's screaming right behind me. It's very loud. I don't really know exactly what's going on with him. Nah, I think I don't know. I heard the word. I don't even want to get into it. I don't know. He's having an argument with somebody. Maybe, I don't even know. It doesn't matter. The point is, we gotta focus on me. You never want to focus on anyone else except yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's all that really matters. Focus on yourself and improving yourself, and not letting any anger and love. It's anger and lust are the two greatest emotions that you want to control. You know, that one moment of anger or that one moment of lust can really change your life for the worse if you don't control it properly. You know, and it's all really about what's in your mind. You know, the greatest muscle isn't, your legs, your chest. You really want to train your mind. That's the most important thing to ever train. You know, I could get angry right now. I mean, I could be benching like 625 pounds, for example. But let's say I don't control my anger well, and some dude cuts me off when we're driving. I could just smash into his car because I get so angry. I'm like, and then one moment could just ruin it. And let's say, for example, he gets severely injured. Now I have to pay a lot of money, and I have to do a lot of time, in prison, whatever it is, because I can't just be smashing into other people's cars like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you really want to control your anger. You really want to control your lust, especially anger. You know, a lot of people use anger to lift more, and that's a good thing. You know, before my wrestling matches, I used to blast music that would get me angry and stuff like that. But I really realized that doesn't work for me. It's actually better for me. Maybe just me, but I work worse when I'm angry because I'm not in control of my emotions, and when I'm not in control, I feel like I'm worse. Like, for example, when I'm Zercher squatting today, I Zercher squatted. I went up from 325 to 335. This isn't the heaviest I've ever done. This is the heaviest I've ever done with a pause at bottom for 2 seconds. That's what I'm doing now because I'm coming back from the injury. I was able to do 355 for 3 reps, but I was injured. But then I got injured, not because of the Zercher squat. I was playing basketball and I hurt my knee. I think there was other stuff as well. Like my knees were weaker because I was lifting heavy and doing that the way I was lifting, how I used to lift all the time. Like how I was lifting back then, I think that's what injured my knee. But also it weakened my knee. So when I went to that basketball practice, I hurt my knee. So yeah, anyways though. So that was really good. The fact that I was able to Zercher squat 335 for 3 reps. I paused at bottom. I did that for 2 sets. The second set was a little more harder. I didn't rest. I only rested like 3.5 minutes. Maybe I rest 5 minutes from now on. I used to rest 5 minutes between Zercher squats, but last time I did 325 and I rested only 3 minutes and I got it. So I was thinking maybe I should rest 3 minutes, but no. I'm probably gonna rest 5 minutes from now on. Maybe again. I'm not too sure. Maybe 4 minutes next time. Get that time up a little bit, and probably do only 340 next time. I'll only add 2.5s on each side. And this is why 2.5s are so beneficial. Because if I up the weight by 10 pounds, it would be a huge difference and my form would break down. But I only up the weight now by 2.5 on each side, so it's only going to be 5 pounds heavier, and that's not that big of a difference. So I won't really feel that big of a difference. So some people feel like, oh yeah, why you put 2.5 plates are useless and things like that. It's really beneficial if you want to keep growing weight without your form breaking down, because you could go up by 10 pounds and risk your form breaking down, Oh my god, I got a little scared for a second. I thought the car like turned, and I got really scared. That could have been really bad. I mean, the car shouldn't be turning, so I don't even know why I was thinking that for a second. But no, yeah. Back to the point is, you really want to control your emotions though. Like when I was gonna lift my 335, I was chilling. Like I was calm, I was relaxed, and I don't really like take it as a big deal. I feel like a lot of times when you make something a big deal, like for example, like my wrestling matches, you know, my first college match, I went to the match, I'm like, all right, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Every single college match I went into, I'm like, it's whatever. If I win, who cares? You know what I'm saying? And I made it so it's like a small deal. And that's the thing, no one really makes, like, in college, no one really makes like a big deal. People are like, all right, we're just gonna wrestle in college, we're gonna wrestle on matches, and then go home. That's it. And it's just chill. It's really relaxed. You know, in high school, you see everyone's with their headphones and going all over the place, pacing around and all that thing. But I feel like in college, from everywhere where I was wrestling, everyone's just chill and relax. You know, we all work really hard, and it doesn't really matter about the achievements. The achievements only, you know, the only benefit of having the achievements is like telling people, oh yeah, I got that. You can get a little bit of validation. But as long as you're wrestling in college and doing whatever, that's really it. You don't really need to do anything else. Or just in general, like if you're lifting heavy, like, or, well, let's just go back to the college wrestling thing, because that's what I've seen. You know, as long as you're wrestling hard, wrestling practice is brutal. Everything about the sport is brutal. Try and maintain your grades. I maintained a 4.0 GPA while wrestling last year, like really hard. This year, I haven't really wrestled. I'm getting back to the practices now, but you know, you saw like literally oh my god, I'm getting my thoughts together really. Oh my god. Wow, I'm just lost, I think. But yeah, basically, you saw like where am I going with this? Why am I all over the place right now? Why am I all over the place? Basically, it's so hard to lift heavy, practice as hard as possible, maintain your grades, cutting weight, focusing on your nutrition, making sure you don't go overweight because you have to make weight, everything like that. And you gotta make sure you're eating the right foods, your protein. It's brutal this season. It's really brutal. A lot of people don't understand how really brutal the wrestling, college wrestling is. Especially, and you have to deal with not just doing all that, but doing that while being in college. Being a college student is hard. So wrestling in college while doing that as well is like 10 times harder. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta study, you gotta make sure you're doing everything right. So it's really hard. And that's why when we go into, like when I go into my matches and I see a lot of people, no one really cared too much. I noticed that when I was really caring, when I was really listening to the music and really making it like a big deal, I did really bad in that one match, which I did. The 2 matches, I did that. And those were my 2 worst ever matches that I've ever wrestled. I'm just realizing that right now. The times when I was listening to music and making the matches like it was a big deal, that was the 2 matches where I did the worst. I remember one time as well, I was having my headphones in and really getting focused, and my coach like knocked off my headgear, my headphones off my head, and he's like, this doesn't matter, or something along those lines like that to make me less nervous. I don't know why I was doing that. I was just upset because I didn't even warm up properly. My teammates weren't warming up with me, and they're doing me, and I got really mad over it. I don't know why this happened. No, basically what happened was the heavyweight didn't want to warm up with me. The 184 pounder didn't want to warm up with me, so I had to warm up with the 165 pounder. We didn't have our 174 pounder. I don't know where he went, so we had to forfeit his match. But I had to warm up with the 165 pounder, and he didn't want to warm up with me. He just kept on like running away. I don't really know what was going on with him. He didn't even wrestle that day. I don't know exactly why he was there or why he was warming up so much. I don't know. He was like warming up the entire time and didn't really wrestle. I don't really know what that was about. But yeah, he didn't wrestle with me, so no one wrestled with me, and I got really angry. And I was listening to my headphones. But that's what I noticed every single time as well. When I lift and I have my headphones in, I lift my worse. Maybe it's just me, but if I make something more of a big deal, I do worse. And yeah, that's what I noticed. So then afterwards, I did farmer carries. I did 290 for 20 yards. I did that 2 times, and on the 3rd time, I only got 10 yards. And I think the issue was, I think I went a little too heavy. I jumped up 10 pounds, and I think it was a big jump for farmer carries. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. But now I can just stay that weight now because I did good for the first 2 sets. But I think I was also very tired. You know, I have my wrestling practice and everything. I haven't rested. So after tonight, I'll rest. Right? No, well, I'll rest soon. Don't worry, I'll rest soon. But yeah, I did that, and then afterwards I did leg extensions. I did 2 sets of I think 200 pounds. I think it was, which is still good. I mean, it's a 1 minute rest. I used to do 2 like 30 back in wrestling season, but that was like back when I used to only do split squats. I didn't even do anything else. So that was a main lift for me back then. And also, I'm getting back into leg extensions, but it doesn't really matter about what weight you're using for leg extensions. It's just a lift that supports your muscles. It's not doing anything else. So yeah, I did that, and then afterwards I did leg curls, single leg curls. I upped it by 5 pounds, and it felt really good. So I'm very happy about that. And yeah, that's really that. That was my day of really lifting too much. You know, that's something that. And look, I just figured that on the spot right now. That like every single those 2 matches, because I was like thinking to myself like, those 2 matches were my worst ever college matches that I've ever wrestled. Like, and this is what's weird is that I had 2 matches that day. There were 2 dual meets on that day. Like there was 2 teams we had to wrestle in the dual meets, and it wasn't like a dual meet tournament right there. It was just a dual meet thing, and you know, so I noticed that in that first match I did really bad. I'm gonna be brutally honest. I lost by 18 points. Right? Was it 18 points? Nah, I don't think it was 18 points. I think it was 16 points. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure exactly. I lost by 16 points in the first period. And not even halfway through the first. No, it was like 2 minutes. 2 minutes I got attacked. Right? 2 minutes. And you're thinking like, oh my god, he must have got killed. Like, he must have got killed. And the thing was, I did. But not in the way that you would think. I didn't get like taken. I only got taken out 1 time. He tilted me 3 times. Like, I would stand up, he tilted me. I would stand up, he tilted me. And I was like all over the place. When I got taken down, when I was on the mat, like I was like, where am I right now? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in a random area. And I think also the big issue was with that match, it wasn't just the headphones. I think that also played a big factor because mental and everything like that. But also, I didn't warm up. I literally did not warm up. My partners would not warm up with me. No one warmed up with me, and that's something that started getting me really mad towards the later part of the season. No one really. That was the issue. Like, no one would warm up with me. I didn't even really talk to anybody there. So hopefully I can talk better. I'm probably still gonna be really quiet when I'm there. Not too quiet, but not gonna be like some out and out talking guy. You know, I'm not really that anymore. I used to be like that a couple years ago, but nowadays I don't really talk to anybody too much. I'm very quiet and more doing my own thing, really. And yeah, very excited. You know, always grateful, you know, for the opportunity to really lift, you know, be able to come back to practice, because, you know, I wasn't able to practice for such a long time. And yeah, that's really that.